Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast. I am your soon-to-be-moving house host, BoredGamer, and I'm here with the very housed Zinnia. Say hello, very housed Zinnia.
Hello, very housed Zinnia.
I am going to be talking about Star Citizen. Zin will also be replying to questions and talking about Star Citizen that I pose her from the last week's news and bits and bobs that are happening at the moment. I am, however, literally surrounded by what is like a waste site as I am about to move tomorrow at time of recording to my new house. And hopefully that'll be good. There'll be fun. We'll have internet. Nothing will go wrong. And we'll be straight that day. Bam, I'll be making a video later on that day. That's what's going to be happening soon.
Good.
Look forward to that. But yeah, some things I want to talk about today. XenoThreat is live, as is 3.23.1a. There's performance issues, there's PvPers, there's stuff like that I want to talk about. There's been some account suspensions, and there's an actor's resume where they're playing a character which I'm not sure that needs to have an actor play them. Yeah, it talks about the potential release date of Star Citizen or Squadron 42. Let's start with XenoThreat. Zin!
Yes.
XenoThreat's live on the servers. And 3.23.1a is also live. And it is completable. It's doable. It's completable. Stuff works. There are some problems, though.
Yeah, of course there is. Star Citizen.
It's alpha. It's Star Citizen. The performance issues are one of the big problems. So sometimes it's fine. Other times it's incredibly laggy. 10 frames a second, 20 frames a second, a bit janky. Lots and lots and lots and lots of HUD issues. Sometimes your HUD is just covered in markers of like lots of different ships. And do you remember that problem that we've had before where people are appearing as enemies, even though they're not enemies?
Vaguely,
it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That we had that problem. And it's actually a lot more recent in Arena Commander as well. But yeah, so there's that going on as well. So that is not ideal, but it's completable. Often you can play it, well, at least sometimes you can play it without any sort of problems, and you can play it through with, sometimes some performance issues. Other people not have so many performance issues. And I think it's genuinely pretty good implementation of XenoThreat. You can board the Idrises. One of the ways that you can now sort of complete XenoThreat is after the refueling of the Javelin and sort of cargo and that sort of stuff. And there's some new cargo. There's some big boxes you can also now transport. So you have to take them with tractor beams. Mm-hmm. But after you've done that bit and you go to the fleet battle, instead of blowing up all of the ships, you can board the Idris, or the Idri, or Idris. Take out the commanders, basically, on the Idris. And then if you do that, you've won. You've taken out the commanders.
Okay.
And I really like that because it's like, oh, that's a nice alternative. And something that you could potentially do with a strike team.
Yeah. So
you just got like a group of 5 of you that want FPS stuff. Bam, you board that and take out the commander. Yeah, I really like that. I think it's reasonable implementation of XenoThreat, significantly better than I thought. There's other like tweaks and updates that have been going into it since like 3.22 as well that have all sort of come to fruition now. And you can log into the servers. Nothing implodes. Well, the servers aren't really on fire, but I mean, your mileage is going to vary because it's Star Citizen. The thing is, PvPers are not particularly well catered for in this event, even though CIG have said, yeah, PvP can happen. Star Citizen PvP can sort of happen anywhere, kind of. But PvPers make it very difficult in XenoThreat, and there's lots of PvPers turning up to these, especially in servers where a load of random people are trying to do it together rather than orgs. Because obviously if you've got a big org on a server, they're going to take up all the spots on the server. When you've got not all those spots taken up, there's higher and higher risk that there's going to be more and more PvPers. And for each PvPer you have trying to fight people that are doing XenoThreat, well, that's a spot taken up by a PvPer, and someone else has to deal with them, at least one other person.
Yeah.
That's really difficult when you're doing like the cargo run bits, or even just fighting some of the XenoThreat ships, because those PvPers can just blow up your cargo ships. They can take out those ships very easily, especially if they're static. They can, during a fleet battle, take out ships that are trying to assault the Idris or assault the support ships very easily. It's not very well catered for PvPers at the moment. What do you think about that? What's your sort of thought? I know you're not super into PvPs in.
No.
But obviously PvP exists in Star Citizen. This event is supposed to have the ability for people to get involved with PvP, although people are arguing with that. But if you look at what CIG have said, they're marketing it towards this event, and what they've said about the event is PvP is available in it, although not. It is much more focused at a PvE event. But what do you think of all this?
I don't know. Like, I'd like certain event, or not certain events. I'd like there to be a line drawn between PvE and PvP. But that's me.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I want it to be like, if you're seen to be engaging anybody like in PvP in this scenario, then you will get a criminal rating. You'll get, I mean, obviously you get criminal ratings anyway, but like more serious sort of repercussions.
Yeah.
But that's not what CIG want. So that's, it's fair enough.
Well, I'm not 100% sure if CIG know exactly what they want. They're sort of testing a lot of this stuff in the wrong environment to be tested. So, Stanton system, we need more gameplay area, more laws and stuff to help prevent PvPing in areas that they don't want PvP to be in, and more stuff for PvPers to actually do and get involved with and want to PvP in, and something that will get PvEers, people that are primarily wanting to do PvE, considering doing PvP because of the risk reward. I am kind of with you on the fact that I want hard lines in areas that are, this is a PvE area, this is a PvP area, and this is a PvP light area, things like that. Yeah, so you know what to expect when you go into certain areas, and there are preventative measures to prevent people that want to do a PvE thing, like, let's say make XenoThreat fully PvE. You go, well, people can't get into that, PvPers can't get into that area for some reason, or say criminal players can't get into that area for some reason, or it pulls them out if they start engaging in PvP somehow. But you make law behind it. You can't say, well, the UE fleet's there and they're able to scramble you. They're not able to scramble XenoThreat because that's some of the stuff that XenoThreat's stolen.
Yeah. It is a difficult one, like law-wise. How are you going to tackle this? Because if they had something in Star Citizen like they have in EVE, where if you're in high sec and you do something naughty, it's within seconds, and you'll be, well, maybe not seconds, but unless you are prepared to get out of there quick fast, you're completely screwed. Yeah. Whereas when you're in a PvE situation where the people who are supposed to be governing you can't get the manpower to deal with these people and are having to get players to do it, then how are they supposed to come along and deal with PvPers? It's a bit of a weird law-wise, like, how are you supposed to deal with that?
I think some people want to do loads of PvP, we should cater for that. Some people want to do loads of PvE, we should cater for that. And some people want the threat of PvP to happen in those areas, and we should cater for that. And we should have risk and reward that goes up based on how much risk there is in that area, and we need ways of encouraging players to want to do PvP in certain areas, and to encourage people that would not normally look at PvP to consider doing PvP. And that might even be, you know what, I'm hiring escorts because I don't want to get involved in PvP, but I sort of want to do stuff that's PvP or that's in the areas of PvP, so I'm going to hire escorts so that they can deal with it for me.
Thinking about it, actually, that's a good idea. So Stanton would technically be a mid to low security sort of area. It's not.
Yeah, I'd say mid security, but yes, I get what you're saying.
It's not governed by the UEE. It's obviously under the laws of the UEE, but it's technically patrolled and policed and governed by the
loads of organisations,
the companies that have bought these planets. Whereas if you were to go somewhere like Sol or Terra, that would be high security, and you wouldn't really get XenoThreat missions there, I don't think.
No, you wouldn't, unless it's like a really big major event happening in, like, the Vandal are invading or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those I would assume that those systems are pretty safe. They're going to be the highest security anyway.
But yeah, so obviously at the moment, because we have a severe lack of systems, it's something that I guess they're not going to really deal with or think about too much until they have more systems where they can have higher security systems and lower security systems.
But it's one of the reasons you're going to get things that just don't work when they try and run these events, because they're trying to shoehorn it in, or they're trying to just test what it's like.
Yeah.
So if you really hate the way something is in Star Citizen, and you're like, I think there's a better way, or whatever, give feedback to CIG. But there is going to be PvP in Star Citizen, and there needs to be areas where there is a risk of PvP, even in the almost, to say, because in the high security sectors, I don't want PvP to occur.
Or at least if it does occur, they stand no chance of surviving. It would be a suicide mission for them. Yeah,
that's a good point. You pull your weapon, like on Sol, you're going down.
Yeah.
Someone's going to take you down, one of the security. Yeah, I mean, I do think there's going to be some exceptions to that rule and stuff like that, and I'm all for that. But I also think that some other stuff would be cool, would be knowing that, there's a cool, lucrative cargo mission that I'm going to take, yeah? PvE. Want to do a cargo mission, I want to do it PvE.
Yeah.
However, there's a really high value one, which I know will generate a potential PvP criminal counter mission of they know where your cargo ship's starting and ending, and they know that you need to get it there within 10 minutes. And maybe every time I come out of Quantum, it updates where my position is. So I know that's potentially going to happen. I know there's potentially a PvP thing going to happen. I might get pulled out, so risk versus reward there. But I do think also more players will mean that there's more stuff for PvPers to do as well outside of these sort of dynamic events. Because PvPers want to be able to go, I'm going to set up a quantum snare with my Mantis and actually pull someone out and then negotiate with them to get money or blow them up and take their stuff.
Yeah.
And when you've got a server of 100 people, that's very rarely going to happen. It does happen, it's just very rare. That's what I want to talk about. I also think maybe when you've got really, really big cargo ships moving stuff across, maybe occasionally updates their positions or whatever when they get seen. Like if a pirate sees a cargo ship, it goes, there's a cargo ship here. The same way you'd have it with bounty hunters updating you on the location of known bounties. Zin and I are not hugely into PvP, but I very much accept that it needs to be part of the game. And yeah, as you said, you want it sort of hard lines saying these are PvP areas, these are PvE areas, and I think we both agree that you need to know what you're getting when you get into any of the gameplay. You need to know if there is a risk of it.
Yeah.
Zin.
Yes.
Account suspensions.
Ooh.
So, some people got their account suspended for exploiting in Star Citizen.
Okay. Just suspended, as in they'll come back.
Yes, so we'll talk about this, and I'm going to ask you what you think is an appropriate measure. So there was some duping bugs, there was ways of making huge amounts of alpha UEC, and that was destabilizing the Star Citizen economy quite a lot, and people just had ridiculous amounts of cash and were sending other people ridiculous amounts of cash, and these exploits were sort of damaging the way that CIG track data and work out how players gather money, then what they buy with that. Because if you just got infinite money that you can easily get, well, that doesn't show what missions you're doing to try and earn money, and it doesn't allow them to gain data on the economy in the way that you want.
Yeah.
So they went, some people have been excessive in their exploiting, and we've suspended them. How many accounts do you think they suspended? I know you haven't got much to go on with that.
No, I haven't got much to go on. There's 4.5 million accounts, maybe 5 million accounts now?
I think it's closer to 3. I can't remember. Let's have a quick look. They're currently, oh my god, I'm so old. It's 5.2 million.
So it has reached 5 million. Last time I remember, I think it was end of 2022. There was 4 million accounts.
Oh my god, I thought it was so much lower than that for some reason.
You're bad.
My brain.
I don't know, maybe 1,000. I haven't got a clue.
Oh, no, okay, that's pretty close. So it's 600 plus. That's what I said. So that's pretty accurate, because I thought it was going to be 10,000 or something suspended. So for someone that's been doing this, Zin, how long do you think their account was suspended for? I
don't know, maybe a month.
Okay, you're very reasonable, Zin, today. At 3 months, around 3 months.
Okay.
Because I know a load of people had done this exploit, and some people were making videos on it and stuff. Now, typically, and actually, I don't make videos on that sort of exploit and stuff, because I'm aware that CIG would probably be quite grumpy about it.
Mm.
So I'd be like, well, I'm not gonna make a guide on an exploit that needs to be hotfixed. I might make a video on there is a problem in Star Citizen. It's this duping problem, and it needs to be solved without sort of describing. And this is how you can replicate it. Yeah. I thought it was interesting. Now, it's an alpha game, Sin.
Yes.
Do you think people should have been suspended or banned at all, or suspended at all?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. How excessive does it have to be before you should get suspended?
I think, I'd like to say any evidence of any sort of foul play or like exploit should get a ban.
So what if I know that there's this exploit, I test it out and then just put it on the issue count, so I did it once.
Yeah.
Is that something that I should get then suspended for?
Yeah, see, that's the thing, probably not.
Yeah, because you don't want to make players scared of testing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's CIG's rationale as well, because it was only like around 600 players that got suspended, and it is only a 3-month suspension. I do believe some people have got their suspensions reversed as well.
It is like you say, it is a difficult one. Obviously, if it is a bug in the game that people are like, oh, is this still around? Let me test it again. Like I think you can tell when people are taking the piss.
And that's exactly it. Don't take the piss.
Yeah.
And so people shouldn't be scared of testing Star Citizen and even potentially testing a bug or an exploit or something, as long as you're not trying to actively generate hundreds of millions or billions of alpha UEC from it or whatever. Test stuff, it's Star Citizen, report it. Potentially don't make a video on how to do the exploit.
Yeah.
Things like that, because I've seen other creators make them and I was like, that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah. If you were willing to do this, and I'd be the sort of person who'd be willing to do this, if I was like, I'm going to test this exploit to generate alpha UEC.
Chuck your alpha UEC away afterwards.
Well, no, I'd reset my account.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Because then that's gone, and it's like you've proven it's doable, but now you've gotten rid of it, and it's not a problem. But I understand people are in situations where they don't want to reset their account. Well, in that case, maybe don't try and duplicate exploits.
I just think if they were always running a PTU build at the same time, that would be the best place to test that sort of stuff out.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe they could reset it every week or something. People could mess around there. Because if you had a PTU that was just mirroring the live build, you could test more out without worry. But, maybe that's a lot more effort. What I also wanted to talk to you about was one of the things that potentially, almost certainly, but I can't say I haven't got physical evidence of it, that people were doing this exploit, yeah? Almost certainly, some of these people were gold sellers.
Okay.
So, what do you think of gold sellers?
I mean, I think we've had a conversation on this.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. But why?
What do you mean, why? People make money. People go on eBay, people sell money.
No, I understand why people sell it. I don't understand why people buy it.
That is a really good point. Well, why do you buy spaceships in Star Citizen, right?
Because you get to keep them forever.
But some people just want to play it for now and can't be asked. It's like, I don't want to do 4 hours of gameplay to grind this money. I'll just spend tenner, get some money.
I do not understand it. I cannot be like, oh yeah, if you want to do that, do that. Frankly, if you can't be bothered, don't be bothered.
I say, yeah, if you can, enjoy playing Star Citizen. To part of the grind is the part of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can't be bothered to do stuff to earn money to buy ships, but you can be bothered to spend a tenner, then save up those tenners and then buy a ship.
Okay. So what about when CIG are going to be potentially selling in-game currency? I suppose they already do, but when it's sort of more ratified, because one of the ways they were going to generate money, because the game is buy to play, buy it once, you don't have to pay a subscription fee. They want to be selling in-game currency, probably. Do you think that's something that people should consider more than buying from gold sellers?
Yes. Like,
because they get to keep that currency.
Always go through the proper channels if you can. Like, as is proven, well, not proven here. I have no proof.
Anecdotally,
you don't know where this money's come from. This alpha UEC or UEC or whatever.
Could be one of the quite dodgy, like World of Warcraft gold farms that sort of use younger labour, shall we say?
It could be a gold farm. It could have been somebody hacked somebody's account.
And that is something else that's potentially been happening.
Oh.
So I've noticed a lot more in-game and lots of screenshots from people of alpha UBC sellers in-game going, buy our VUC, buy our VUC. That happens a lot in free games because those accounts might get banned or whatever, it doesn't matter. But also, it happens often in games that have a subscription or a buy-in, but the accounts get hacked. Now, it hasn't necessarily happened in these situations, but I think it's relatively likely, at least some, that these accounts have been compromised, and then there's bam, 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 buy our VVC from this address.
Okay.
I think gold sellers can be a scourge. I'm actually not anti-grey market for other people selling their ships and stuff, but gold selling encourages bad behaviour, is what I see. And the other thing is, what we're talking about, you don't understand why people buy this. I don't understand why they would buy Alpha UEC, because, I mean, that stuff can just get wiped on a whim. Hopefully CIG will ratify some rules more for terms of service and stuff for the future. Hopefully we won't have a problem with gold sellers. Obviously CIG are planning to sell their own currency. I suppose that gives them another reason to go, no, gold selling is banned. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Something else I thought was interesting as well was that there were Alpha UEC sales companies that were advertising on YouTube videos.
Oh.
So, just the general YouTube ads that get served.
Yeah.
Someone sent a picture of an ad being served on one of my videos of Alpha UEC sales company.
Oh.
I was like, oh. I think it's the second time someone sent it to me, and I was like, I don't have much control of what's actually served
unfortunately, you
by
don't.
YouTube. And obviously they've gone, I want someone that's advertising this kind of thing to have this product. And obviously I'm particularly perfect for that role, for them serving ads. But you do what you want. Try not to break any terms of service. And I'm not your dad. Everyone's big boy. If you want to do PvP, you want to buy Alpha UEC, I'm definitely not endorsing that. Definitely not endorsing the purchase of Alpha UEC. That's just my thought. Certainly if you get your account hacked, CIG will probably temporarily ban it until you get access back to it. Zin.
Yeah.
There was an actor's resume leaked online the other day.
Okay.
And it had some roles and things that he was in for like Ace Combat 8 and Clockwork Revolution, just some games they're going to be in and their release dates. So one of the things that was listed on there was Star Citizen with a release date of 2025.
Okay.
So a lot of people think this is actually referring to Squadron 42. Might be, might not be. I think that it's just a random date. I don't think it actually means much at all, because there's a lot of people talking about this, or at least there were. And I also think that it's possible that we'd see a Star Citizen version 1 actually more like mid-2026, but maybe, possibly. What do you think of that? Do you think that seeing a leak like that, do you think that could be Squadron 42 it's referring to? Do you think that could be?
It could be. Like, maybe their plan is to have these characters come into Star Citizen universe as well, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, the full sort of universe. Both. Yeah, I see what you mean. So, I mean, the other thing is that it could be Star Citizen 2025. That's actually just when their character's going to appear. Because the character they're referring to is Jimmy.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you do. It's Space Jeremy Clarkson's Stig friend.
Oh.
So, they're not saying any words, I wouldn't assume.
Huh.
Is it just for mocap? He doesn't speak. Unless he does say a word.
I don't know, maybe. Maybe they're getting rid of Space Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh my god. But if it's for Squadron 42 is set before current Star Citizen year. It's like 2942, and we're now in 2954.
Yeah, so it's like, what, 12 years?
Yeah, that sounds right. It's just a real interesting one, right?
Yeah.
It's just weird that it says Jimmy, but you don't need an actor for Jimmy. You just use any.
It would probably be the mocap.
But you just use anyone's old. Oh, okay, yeah. Someone would have to do the mocap. Well, if you wanted Jimmy to actually, you could just use any of the animations for anyone. It doesn't matter. Oh, I suppose no. He is going to be a bit more bespoke, right? Because he's going to be doing silly things, and emoting more because he doesn't speak. I think at most that just says that his Jimmy motion capture would be used in 2025 at some point. That's all I think from that resume. But yeah, boom. So, yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I want to know if people are enjoying XenoThreat and 3.23.1a. Have you had a great time? Are you having a terrible time? Are you like, there's no way anyone's been able to complete this. It's broken. Or you're like, I don't see what people are complaining about. I've got no performance issues. It's just working perfect. What do you think about the PvP sort of situation and CIGs? How should they handle it? What would you like to see? I know people are going, Care Bears don't want any PvP. And other people are like, well, I just want PvE. I'm not. Some PvPers are just crazy. They just want blood all the time. They're monsters. I do think there's a middle ground where everyone can sort of enjoy the game. To tell me what you sort of think and how you'd handle that. Do you think people that got suspended, do you think more people should have been suspended? Because obviously a lot more than 600 people were doing this. Do you think that stuff like that should be bannable? What about gold sellers? What do you think about that? And do you think Jimmy's going to turn up in 2025 with the release of Star Citizen, the Squadron 42? Is he going to speak? I don't know. It's weird. Say goodbye, Zin.
Goodbye, Zin.
Thanks for watching, guys. You have a great day. And, a couple of things, actually, before we go. There's a Tobii eye tracker. It's on sale at the moment. Check the links below for that. You get native eye tracking and head tracking in Star Citizen. Very high precision. Ooh. But quite expensive Tobii eye tracker, but cheaper when they're on sale, like now. We also have NordVPN. It's the best darn VPN that we've ever talked about on this Star Citizen podcast, giving you better accessibility, security, and, I don't know, another ability. Privacyability on the internets. So check that out, nordvpn.com/BoredGamer, and it helps support the channel, buying that stuff. Go below, do the things. Thanks. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for June we are giving away a Freelancer Miss, which is a fantastic little multi-crew missile boat. We're also bundling this with a Pulse, the little tiny bike with the big laser on it. You'll get lifetime insurance on both of those and a Star Citizen game package. So all you need to play Star Citizen, all you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during June. Good luck to you. Also, if you want to further support the channel, please consider clicking the join button under my videos. It really does help. There's also Patreon on loads of affiliate links and stuff like that down below in the video description and in the comments. So check those out, and that helps the channel out too. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great June. Thank you for watching to the end, and don't forget to click all the things down below, or at least the things you want to click on.